Hey everyone, filling down from Aussie Garage. We're here today to see this Ultimate Sleeper. This thing is unreal. Steve's done a massive job to this thing and it's brilliant.
Right, g'day everyone. Today I'm here with Steve. Steve, welcome to the channel, mate.
Thank you.
All right, so we're here to talk to you about this HT. How long have you had this one?
I've had this for 24 years now. Second owner of it. I bought it in Harvey from the original owner. Harvey just getting something to eat and saw this in a driveway with a for sale sign on it.
Yeah, okay. Sucking you in.
And yeah, he did. And then I knocked on the door and the lady opened the door and I said how much, because it didn't have a sign for how much it was going for. And the lady said, oh, is $1,000 okay? And I was like, yes.
Yep.
But I actually gave her $1,100 at the time.
But even 20 years ago, that still would have been a pretty fair price.
Yeah, that's pretty fair price. It's in pretty reasonable condition. Had a lot of service for us because it's just outside of the carport and on the back end of it. And,
so was there anything big wrong with it? Like any big rust holes or any damage or anything like that when you first got it?
Typically on the subframe at the Y sections, that both sides were completely shot. Fenders, always the fenders on these. A little bit in the right hand rear floor pan, that was it.
Okay.
And the rest was pretty good. So that's the most scariest drive home because it had no supposedly disc brakes that were there, but it didn't work. And
okay.
so I had to use the handbrake as a retarder, and yeah, that was a scary ride home.
So that was a permit, was it? Put on a permit to get it home?
No, because it's still registered and it's still been registered ever since.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, I've not let this lapse at all. So even in my time, it's always been registered. So
yeah, nice. So obviously you've been right through the whole car by the look of it.
Yeah.
It's fresh paint, that sort of thing. So what did you jump into first?
Just the bodywork and getting all the rust repairs done that needed to be done. Sanding everything down to original metal that was there because it's never had a paint job on it. It's all original.
Was it white to begin with?
Yeah, Cashmere white.
Yep.
Everything's original from what it would have been in the showroom. That's how I've tried to make it look as well. And I love the colour Cashmere white with the Twilight Blue interior. So
yeah, I really like that you've stuck with the original wheels.
Yeah, well these are actually HQ rims because the disc brakes that I've got on the front are obviously a lot bigger than the 186 that was in it previously. So I got the Wilwood disc brakes with 320mm. So I had to put the HQ rims on there, and luckily they're the same, but just the bigger, and the inserts are a lot different as well.
And that just allowed you to get around the brakes without having to go to too much
Still
trouble.
drum brakes at the back, but obviously they're more modern.
How was the interior in this car?
Rear seat was really good. Driver's side, I had a bench seat in there before. That was a little cracks in there and stuff like that. So, but luckily where I was getting the trim done, a guy had a HG Ute and he had original HT bucket seats with a centre console. But he wanted the bench seat, so
so you did a trade with him?
So we done a trade.
Yeah, awesome.
As in just a straight swap back then. I mean, nowadays they're a lot more expensive to get bucket seats. And,
definitely.
And that's how I wanted to look too. So.
You've obviously been into cars for a little while. So where did it all start? What actually ignited your passion for these old cars?
Well, I was actually born here, and then I spent most of my school life in England, and I could pretty much tell each car that was on the road back then, so we're going quite a long time ago now, but I could remember every single car that would come along, and my passion for cars have always been since then. My dad would test me as well, what car's that, and I would know.
So that was a lot of British cars then?
Yeah, British cars.
For your time in England?
Yeah, I had a few good cars over there too, mainly the V6s, because that's kind of all they really had. My first car was actually a Triumph Stag.
Okay.
But anyway, we won't go that one. But coming back here, and sort of ever since I've been back here, and the V8 is just there's nothing else. Plus it's good having a brother-in-law that's crazy about cars as well as I am, so we're pretty
always egging each other on?
Yeah
perfect.
He's got a couple of good ones as well, so
we'll have to go and catch him as well. No worries. So how long did the restoration take? So from when you first got it to when it was pretty much like this?
Yeah, it come off the road in 2006. Completely stripped it down, had all the bodywork done. I had a guy do that for me, and then it just led in the shed for forever. And COVID come around, and then you kind of see all these prices that were on all these old cars that just through the roof, and it's like, I'd do it now or never get it done. Just over 3 years of actual, from start to finish, and now to what it is now.
Yeah, perfect. So COVID was the kicker to actually go, oh, I've got some time here, I'll get in the shed.
Yeah, I'm still working. I was actually, because I work away, so I was still working, but every time I come home, I'd be doing something with it. And so I've had a few guys that helped me out too. Graham actually he actually painted my ute for me, and he done a pretty good job on it, and I was like, well, do you fancy doing this one? And he said, yeah. And for a guy that does industrial painting and not auto painting, done a pretty good job.
No, it does look very good.
Awesome job actually. And I wasn't after a show car.
No, but
finish, because I want to drive it, and I've been driving it. I mean, I'm lucky at the moment because even with the amount of driving I'm doing it, it's still pretty clean, and not much gone wrong with it. So yeah, but I didn't want to go any other colour. Because I still have all the original running gear that was in it before. So if anybody did want to buy it off me in the time that if I sold it, they can put it all back to original if they wanted to. So
yeah, sweet.
So that's everything: diff, transmission, engine.
So originally this was a 186 car,
186, 64,000 miles on it.
So that's not huge.
No. Yeah, the lady lived in Harvey, and she originally bought it from L&P Motors in Harvey. So it's just been a 2-owner car.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, which I'm quite lucky about.
Because then you know the whole history, then you know where it's made.
Yeah,
that sort of
exactly.
Stuff. So you've alluded to the fact that there is no longer a 186 in this car.
Yes, I had...
yeah, so maybe we should crack the bonnet and go around and have a look at that.
No worries at all.
All right, wow.
There she is.
Yeah, a vast improvement on the 186, I'm sure.
Definitely.
What exactly are we running under here?
It's a Chevy small block 383, solid cam, still carbureted with a quick fuel carb on there, mechanical and a Wian manifold, solid cam.
It will go well then?
Yes.
Well, it looks extremely clean in here, so you've obviously gone right through the bay and everything. And
I'll try to keep it less wiring as I could. As you can see, there's only one wire there.
Yep.
So I've got Wilwood master cylinder, proportioning valve on there, so I got rid of the booster.
How do you find that without the booster? I've heard mixed things. You got to push a bit
you
harder on the pedal, but
no, it's pretty good. You just got to have the right pads in, because when you get it from where I got it from, they gave you the wrong pads, and they started to chip, and nearly went into centre reservation with this one day.
Right. Okay. So, that's not what you want.
No, not at all. And so got the right pads in there, works perfectly. It doesn't squeal, squeak.
Okay.
Hardly any brake dust as well as the previous ones were. It just, every time I come out, it's black. The wheels are black, so it's good to have the right stuff in there. And
well, it's interesting that the pads make all the difference for that setup. That's an interesting point.
And that's just a basic pad as well. It's not any street performance pad. It's just a normal pad, and it stops perfectly. Pretty good actually for what they are.
Because I've always wondered with the booster delete whether that really makes it a bit harder to pull up or not.
No, you just got to have that proportioning valve that just kind of fixes everything then, instead of having the booster. And
it looks really tidy too, doesn't it, without the...
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Didn't want that in there, and lucky like Wilwood do this kind of setup. Yeah, so it's pretty good. And I have a AU thermo fans to keep everything cool. I think it was a few weekends ago I was out. It was very, very hot outside, so I don't have any aircon. So, but this, no problem at all. Yeah. In fact, I had to cut it short because I was absolutely sweating.
You were hotter than the car.
I was hotter than the car, so I had to cut that run short.
Yeah, nice. So, what kind of gearbox and diff have you got behind this?
Got a fully manualised turbo 350. I have a 4-inch prop shaft going into a 9-inch.
Yeah, nice.
32 spline, billet axles, running a 325 ratio. 355 is a little bit too high. Yeah, it's running about 1800 RPM at 100 k's an hour. So.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And the way you put this thing together, I love that it's pretty standard looking on the outside.
Yeah, I mean,
it's got it where it counts.
I get a lot of attention, and it's pretty good that way.
Yeah.
And it's always the case. Oh, you used to have one of those. That's how I kept. I didn't want any you know, bright paintwork, or I just wanted to keep everything original as I could, but just change the running gear basically. That's it.
Yeah.
So,
no, she's a real sleeper, mate. That's
steel
awesome.
rims with the white walls on there. And yeah, that's
yeah.
the other thing too. I'm a real big fan of sleepers. I've had quite a few sleepers in my time, as in even just the modern stuff.
Yep.
Put pursuit rims on them, and you know.
So what's the exhaust system?
That's from Andy's exhaust system in Welshpool there. He does a great job. I've got Lukey mufflers on there, Pacemaker extractors that have been ceramic coated.
And what size pipes you got hanging out?
They're just 2.5.
2.5s, yep.
Yeah, it's 2.5 with the Lukey mufflers at the end, not at the front.
Yep.
And it's just before the diff as well. So.
All right. Very nice, mate.
Yeah, it's all brand new in here too.
Yeah. You got a nice little gauge pot in there so you can keep track of what's going on.
Yep.
And I like how you've done it so that it could all be taken back.
Yeah.
You haven't chopped into the dasher or anything.
No,
so.
I didn't want to do that at all.
No, that's really good. I know there's no radio in here, or is it hiding in the glove
Well,
box?
this was the poverty pack. There's no heater.
No heater even?
No, there's no radio.
Wow.
But it did have the disc brakes, if you could call them disc brakes, when I took them apart. It was very, very small.
Yeah, right. So here's me thinking that a radio and a heater would have to be standard equipment on most cars, but yeah.
No. So it gets quite a bit of warmth from the engine anyway, so even in winter time it'd be all right without having to have the heater. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's got a demister, it does have that.
Yeah. So you've obviously had all this redone, and these are the original pressed seat covers. So did you go through Winners or somewhere like
yes,
that?
Yes, I did actually, yeah, because the original trim that was in, and all the door cars, they were pretty good. Apart from the driver's side, the lady must have had quite a big ring on her finger.
Okay.
Because every time you would undo the window, it had a big slit in where the Keltic welding is there.
Yep.
So, and I've noticed before that even when I had the seats done somewhere else, that the lady who was doing the seats for me suggested that to do the back seat, even though the back seat was really good condition. And luckily I did, because the actual pattern in this, it's got like a marble effect. As you can see, it's got a bit of marble in there, the dark bits in there.
Yeah, a bit of mottly.
And that had all gone in the back seat.
Yeah.
Even though the vinyl was good, that was all gone. So I'd have had the front seats all good and the back seats no good.
Would have matched, yeah. Yeah.
So then I was like, oh, do I just get one door card? And I thought, no, because going by with that, I thought, well, I better get the whole set. It kind of ended up working out cheaper anyway to get the whole lot.
Yeah.
So, but no, I wouldn't recommend anybody else. They're very, very good at what they do.
Yeah,
and that's not just Holden, that's Valiants and Fords. They do everything. Yeah, the armrests, they were all original.
Well, they're still in really great condition.
Yeah, I had bought new ones from Rare Spares, but when painting them, the paint didn't want to stick no matter how the process was that you done correctly. It didn't want to stick. Yep. I couldn't get it to stick. And
they use silicone in the moulds apparently.
Yeah, and that's what stuffed it, and that's even, you know, cleaning it and, you know, abrasing everything up, and it still didn't want to do it. So luckily, I still have the original.
So you obviously went through with the rubber kit, everything when you went?
Everything like you can get from Rare Spares to, put it all in there. It's funny because like even I've gone through 5 indicator switches through Rare Spares, and I should have kept the original one because there was nothing wrong with it. But because you want everything new, so it doesn't mess up down the road, it's kind of like I should have just kept the old stuff. But that's the only thing. Really, that was the only thing, was the indicator switch. Everything else has been pretty good.
The only thing I've really noticed in here that throws away from the originality is just the shifter, and that's really it, isn't it?
Yeah, because that was on the old column auto on there.
Yep.
The Power Glide, that was in it before. And this is with the centre console bit there. It's at the right height for the wheels.
Yeah. So you would have had to source this because with the bench seat in here originally, it wouldn't have had the console to start with.
No, that's right. Yeah, the guy that we swapped, he had that as well. So
okay.
And
so it's still HT.
Yep, everything's HT. This is from the Prem. The Prem's had these, and I think maybe the Brahms had them as well. I think. So.
Yeah. No worries.
Yeah.
And the old Venetians on the back window, mate,
they're the original.
They're a great feature.
Yeah, they're original as well, and some visor at the front as well. That's all original. Everything I've got that is in here is pretty much original. How it looked from when the lady had bought it. So
Oh, fantastic.
and that's how I wanted it anyway. So the only thing's different is like the gauges that are in here. But
Yeah.
I didn't want a monster tacho because it's just not that kind of car to have a monster tacho. So
So who did you get to help you with your trim?
Val Autos.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the ones that done it.
Yep.
I had the lady down at, I think, Classic Custom Interiors in Armadale, Kelmscott area there. She done it the first time. I mean, these were done, like 12 years ago.
Okay.
These were done. So it's all been that little process every time, and obviously money kind of thing. And
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Bit by bit.
yeah, bit by bit.
No, that's it. Awesome. All right, well, let's jump out and have a look around the rear end.
Yep, sure.
Nice, so just pretty standard back here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had to put a HQ rim in there.
Yep.
Only just fits in there too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So the rolling diameter was a bit bigger than on the HQs than the HTs, was it?
Plus the width of them are bigger too.
Okay.
So even though they're still 14s,
Yep.
yeah, all 14s all round. Boot mat in there, and my chairs for when we go on cars and coffee and
Oh,
stuff.
that's it. Yeah, you can't go anywhere without your fold-up chair, that's for sure, yeah. And everything's been painted right through here?
Yep.
Obviously, when you did your resto, you went through absolutely everything.
Yeah, absolutely everything. Yeah, even underneath too. That's all done as well.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Your chrome at the back here is in excellent condition. So you said you've replaced the bumpers, you went with the aftermarket ones?
Yeah, aftermarket ones. They're pretty good too.
Yeah.
So all the bracketry like on the bumpers, I individually painted them as well.
Yep.
So there's no rust anywhere, pretty much.
No,
Everything's
excellent.
brand new. Every single nut's brand new. Surprising how many nuts there is and bolts to
Yeah.
put together, and
Yeah, you won't think about it until you're actually
No.
doing it, I guess, would you? And
because all the old ones are rusted anyway, so it's
Yeah.
kind of they get a no-brainer for that too. And luckily, US Spares do all that as well.
all right, well, I think there's probably only one thing left to do, and it's our favourite part of the day. So let's go for a cruise, eh?
No worries at all.
Awesome.
Well, I've swapped out for Dan for safety reasons because I can't drive at the moment. So mate, who else helped you with this vehicle when you're doing all the building for it?
Yeah, putting it all back together with my mate Ben Palmer from Airborne Suspension. Yeah, if it wasn't for him, we kind of wouldn't have got on the road. So
Yeah, nice.
yeah, he made a big part of doing this. So
Perfect, mate, perfect.
yeah, and we always go out cruising in it together too. So he's become a good friend too. So.
So mate, what do you think your next build might be?
Well, there's that LS that's in the shed there waiting for
Yep.
it to go into something. Want a kind of a daily, a Prem or the HT or a G Prem,
Yep.
or even just a Kingswood, just for a daily aircon, all that luxury stuff,
Yep.
or modern stuff, should I say?
Yeah, modern stuff.
Yeah, just kind of make that as a daily driver. And
Nah, perfect.
but they're pretty hard to get hold of, and
Yeah.
if you miss it, they're always gone.
Yeah, you have to be quick, don't you, at the moment? If good ones come up, you got to grab them.
That's right.
Yeah, she gets up in boogies, that's for sure, mate.
I'm not even touching it at the moment.
Yeah. One smooth ride.
No worries at all.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This thing moves. It's like effortless when you put your foot down on this.
Yeah, she's pretty good at it.
The ultimate sleeper.
Yep.
All right, Steve, thanks heaps for having us out today, mate. This is an amazing car to have a look at. Brilliant. I love what you've done with it. I like that it's a sleeper because you don't see a lot of sleeper style stuff these days. So, yeah, mate, thanks again for having us out.
No worries at all. Thanks for coming out too.
No problems
Enjoy
at
it.
all.
Thank you much.
And, yeah, I think Phil planned it so that he couldn't drive today, so he got to go for the cruise with you. Lucky bastard. So. No worries. Anyway, we'll see you around the place, I'm sure, because we always catch up with you at the shows.
No worries at all. Thank you.
Easy, thanks.